Hey, third grade, Miss A here. I'm in my kitchen, but it's Thursday, our day, best day of the week, and best time of the year. It is Dia de los Muertos time, or Day of the Dead. If you've seen Coco, you know what I'm talking about. But first, I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that school's going great for you. Miss you guys, but we're gonna get started. So, Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is a cultural celebration in Mexico. Now, it has kind of made its way into the United States. People celebrate it all over. But, you know, here in art class, we're going to talk about the art part of it all, okay? Now, if you've seen Coco, you know that Dia de los Muertos deals with remembering our loved ones, and there's all these fun things that go about it. They have food, decorations, flowers, lots of color, lots of pictures, okay? What we're gonna be talking about is these skeletons, okay? Now, if you know Miss A, you know that Miss A loves sugar skulls, and she loves anything to do with Dia de los Muertos, okay? So, friends, I'm sorry if you can hear my cats talking, they're meowing, okay? So, all right, so I love anything Dia de los Muertos. My whole house has like Day of the Dead stuff all over, okay? But let's talk a little bit about the skeletons, okay? First things first, it is a celebration, so don't forget that. It's a big party. Skeletons aren't meant to be scary. The skeletons aren't meant to scare you or spook you. They're there to just kind of be fun. And the cool thing is that a lot of the stuff for Dia de los Muertos deals with skeletons, okay? This sugar skull type of mask, which people paint their face for Dia de los Muertos, you know, they get it from that. So my cat here is in her skeleton costume with her little face paint. I have a little, my salt shakers are little pigs, and they're in their little sugar skull costume. I've got a really cool Frida with her little cat. He's got a little costume on, but she's in her sugar skull costume. There's all kinds of fun things dealing with the skulls and the sugar skulls. But one thing I really love about Dia de los Muertos, and like what I like to see when I go visit people's different ofrendas, or the little tables that they have set up, is the talaveras, or the tiles, like they're the Mexican tiles. Now, I have some pretty cool ones, not here with me right now, but they are in my classroom. They are the tiles that have skeletons doing everyday people things, okay? So if we had someone we remembered, like I usually do Dia de los Muertos for my grandma. My grandma loved to knit. I have a tile of a skeleton knitting. I have a tile of a skeleton teaching with a little pointer. Miss A, it looks like Miss A got a skirt and a little pointer. I have one of a skeleton playing basketball, one running. I have a skeleton eating breakfast, all kinds of cool things. So the skeletons play a really big part. Now, the cool thing of how the skeleton kind of came to be is that it was a way to introduce like kids, like you guys, to just not be afraid of Dia de los Muertos. It's not about being upset, it's not about being sad, it's about being happy. So they tried to make the skeletons fun and colorful and excited. Let's get started with what we're going to be talking about. It's only going to take a few seconds because I've talked so much. All right, we are creating super silly skeleton portraits. That's really hard to say. Super silly skeleton portraits, okay? Spooky, scary skeleton, that kind of thing. You can do a dance if you have to, okay? Now, we're talking about portraits. That's the main focus of this week's lesson. A portrait. A portrait is mainly of our shoulders and up. Think about our school pictures, okay? They don't normally take a picture of our whole body. They take a picture of us from the shoulders and up. It's a school portrait, a picture. We are gonna be doing a super silly skeleton portrait of our skeleton from about like right here and up. Now, here's the fun part about our skeletons. You know how I talked about those talavera tiles, or those tiles of skeletons doing like everyday things that are kind of funny and silly? You get to add something silly or something fun to your skeleton. It can be a hat, like a cowboy hat or a chef's hat. I had somebody yesterday make a Harry Potter skeleton. It had Hedwig sitting on its like shoulder. It had the Harry Potter Gryffindor scarf and then the Harry Potter scar. I had somebody do a SpongeBob one where they made SpongeBob's little like fry cook hat and a fry cook spatula. I've had somebody do one for Mario where they made a Mario hat and then they put a little mushroom on its shoulder. So you guys are gonna follow me making the skeleton part, and then the rest of it's gonna be kind of up to you what you wanna add. But here's one thing I want you to remember. Try your best to make it as nice and neat as possible, okay? So when you're drawing your extra things, you worked so hard on the skeleton part, don't forget to work hard on the extra things. Don't scribble them, don't make them sloppy, don't make them fast. Make them stand out because that's gonna be super important. We are just doing the outline today and no color, okay? So guys, I hope you enjoy this lesson. It's one of Miss A's favorites because I love seeing all the super silly and fun things that you come up with to create our skeletons. Remember, our Dia de los Muertos is a celebration. We're learning about the art part of it. It's so cool. There's so much art involved. Now, every grade level is doing something different, and I think it's pretty neat. And at the end of it all, I'll be able to show you guys everything that everybody made. So enjoy. I will talk to you soon. Here comes some pictures of La Catrina and some tiles and all that stuff, and then you'll jump to the lesson. Bye, guys. Hey, third grade. We're gonna get started on our skeleton self-portrait, or not self-portrait, our silly, I forgot what I said already. Super silly skeleton portraits. There you go. Oh my goodness, so hard to say. So here we go. Our skeleton is going to be a portrait, so that means it's going to be the shoulders and up, all right? Now, I don't want you to make your skeleton super small. Our skeleton needs to be pretty big, all right? So don't make him tiny. Your skeleton should not only be this big. He needs to fill the page, all right? So let's get started. I'm gonna also be like bringing in some other paper, some scrap paper to kind of show you how to draw things because we've got a lot of different ways to do that. So we're gonna start with the spine, kind of like what holds our body together. Hey, third grade. So sorry, my camera just cut off. So we're gonna start off with the spine, okay? So I'm gonna start by drawing these little rectangle kind of wannabe oval shapes, 5 of them. They don't have to be perfect, okay? You know that. All right. And I'm gonna go a little bit quicker in this video, like I said, because I want you guys to have enough time and I don't wanna take up too much of your time because I know my intro was a little bit longer. So pause when you need to, but for now, I'm gonna keep going. I started with my 5 little spine spots. Now I'm gonna start with the shoulders, okay? Now I'm gonna draw this almost like a dog bone, okay, as best as you can. They've got these little, oops, that one was way too skinny. Little ridge bones right there. The ridge of the bones, like these little indentions. So I make them my shoulder bones, okay? This skeleton isn't super correct, but we're gonna just pretend he's correct. I'm gonna make my arm bones. This one was a little bit too far over, but it's okay. And then we have like, you know, our elbow, and then we have another bone, like our forearm. Miss A's just kind of making this look like we have, like our skeleton has his elbow right there. All right. So we should have part of the spine, the 2 shoulders, the arm bones, and then our like little forearm bones that are popping out. Now we're gonna start with the ribs. Now I'm gonna show you 2 ways to do the rib bones. It's totally up to you. If we're gonna do the ribs, if I have that spine in the middle, Miss A's just gonna show you on 2 different little ones here. You can do ovals, okay? And our ovals kind of get smaller as they go down. Our ribs get a little bit smaller as they go down. These ovals aren't very pretty because I'm showing you really quickly. But we have little ovals like that right there. If we need to, you know, if you can zoom in or if you want to pause, let me zoom in to show you our ovals right there. Okay. The other one would be this kind of C shape. It looks like a squished C. Okay. Can you see that? Squished C. Let me zoom in and draw this for you. I'm making this C shape, really squished C, and kind of drawing another one inside. Almost like a horseshoe. And again, I'm making them a little bit smaller as they go down. Oops. Again, Miss A is trying really hard to do this quickly and it's not very pretty, but okay. C shape, C shape. Okay, that's another way to draw your ribs. So you're gonna have two different ways right here. You can do ovals or you can do that little horseshoe shape. Okay, I'm gonna zoom back out and here we go. Miss A is gonna do the C shape to show you, okay? Now I'm not gonna be able to fit all of them. I'm just gonna do 3, okay? Now your skeleton, don't forget, like I said, needs to be kind of big, so I don't want your rib cages to be too tiny. All right, so I got my ribs done. Now I'm gonna move on. I need to add another spine piece right here for the neck, okay? Now we're gonna move on to the skull. So now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of the spine, and now we're gonna move on to the skull part. Now there's 2 ways to draw your skulls. Okay, Miss A is gonna show you 2 different ways. One of them I call the mushroom way and the other one I call the cupcake way. So this is the mushroom. We're gonna start with a rectangle that doesn't have a top. And then we're going to start at either one, whichever one you wanna start at the top of that line, and then we're going to add the mushroom. See that? Rectangle without a top, and we're gonna add the mushroom. The next part, or the next way, I guess you could say, I'm going to draw what looks like kind of like a cupcake liner. It's like that rectangle, but it's a little bit wider on the sides. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna start like right at the bottom on the outside. And it kind of looks like a cupcake. This one might look more like a mushroom and this one might look like a cupcake, but that's okay. All right, and then Miss A will come in and erase those little lines. But this is another way. So you can choose which one you like best. We're not gonna get in too many skull details because that's gonna be what 5th grade's for when we get into more detailed skeletons and skulls. But for now, mushroom, cupcake, whichever one you want. I'm gonna do the mushroom because I think it's better. I just like it better. I'm gonna draw my line. Again, your skeleton should be pretty big. Okay, there's my rectangle with no top, and then I'm gonna add the mushroom on top, okay? Now I'm gonna come in, okay? If you need to pause right now, please pause. I'm gonna flip over again to show you the mouth. You have 2 options. One of them I call the number line mouth because it looks like, well, a number line that we use like in math. The other one, okay, is more like a bubble or like when you're jumping on a number line, okay? And I do it on the bottom as well. These little like rainbow shapes, okay? You can see the 2 different teeth. You get to choose which one you wanna do. I always like these because I think they look more like real teeth, but I'm gonna do that right here where I feel like this rectangle part is kind of where the mouth should be. Again, it's up to you. I'm gonna make those kind of rainbow shapes on my skeleton. And I always leave some out, okay, on the side, some line. All right, you're gonna choose which one you want. Now, if you need to pause, please pause. Here comes the next part, the nose. There's 2 ways to draw the nose as well, okay? I can either do an upside down heart, or you can flip your paper upside down and draw a heart for the nose, one of the 2. Or, I call this one the broken heart. I do a teardrop shape and a teardrop shape, one slightly smaller, okay? So either one of these is your option here. Upside down heart or like the upside down broken heart, okay? I'm gonna do the upside down heart. Okay? And again, if you need to pause, please pause now. The eyes is what we have left before I get to let you just kind of go and create your super silly skeleton portrait, okay? The eyes. The way Miss A draws her eyes on her skeleton, I draw it like I'm gonna draw a square, but I round my edges. Do you see that? I round my edges. They're not pointy. There's not a vertice there. There's just a round edge. That's one way. It almost looks like a rounded square. Another way could be just to draw kind of an oval shape. Okay, it's not quite a circle. It's more of an oval. Okay, I might do ovals today. I normally do the like square circle, but I think I'm going to do the oval. Okay, I'm going to make sure. Oh, he looks kind of mad. Oh, I kind of made it like a mixture of both. He looks kind of mad. I didn't want him to look mad. How sad. Okay. Now, this would be your time to kind of create your skeleton. I'm going to make a cat skeleton. I think it would be fun, like my skeleton dressed up for Halloween. This is your time to kind of think, do I want him to wear a silly hat? Do I want him to have fun hair? Do I want him to have something sitting on his shoulder? But remember, it needs to be kind of big, okay? Nothing tiny. But I'm going to start to draw my skeleton wearing cat ears, like he dressed up as a cat for Halloween. Okay. And then I feel like he needs some whiskers, and I'll outline all of this. And then I feel like he needs a tail. Now, someone today was like, oh my gosh, Miss A, I made a cat in their class. I was like, they're like, you should make the tail look like it has bones in it. Well, I did that, and then it kind of just, it looked like a snake, so I'm not gonna do that. But he's got his little tail. And then maybe around it, I would put like little kitty paws or animal paws. Okay. I had somebody make a unicorn today. I let someone have a catacorn. Someone had theirs look like a firefighter, a policeman, a chef. Someone made theirs into a puppy dog. There was all kinds of ideas. So this is what you're doing today. We're starting with our skeleton. We're gonna kind of design what our skeleton wants to be or what they're being silly with. It could be a pirate. Someone made a pirate today. They put a cool pirate hat and a little parrot on its shoulder and an eye patch. Dress up your skeleton. It's silly, okay? All right, guys, enjoy. I will talk to you soon. I will see you next week. Bye, Lions.